Okay, now if we start this 2.2, it's going to take some time, I think. Realities are there. It's already 8:55. But we can't just do with one verse in a reading session. So we will go ahead. भगवानुवाच कुतस्त्वाकश्मलमिदं विषमे समुपस्थितम् अनार्यजुष्टम् अस्वर्ग्यम् अकीर्तिं करमर्जुन. Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the value of life. They lead not to higher planets but to infamy. Just imagine you go to somebody, a preacher, and the preacher starts like this. How you have all these bad qualities in you? What will you think? Like run away. Hmm? So Krishna is not showing any like external unnecessary compassion. He's just directly getting to the point, right? So we should understand. Actually, it's always good to be straightforward but compassionate, right? Like we should not make the other person feel alien, but at the same time, we should come to the point directly instead of beating all over the bush, and then finally we tell them, we speak to them materially on the material level, this that and other. No, not required, right? We should be compassionate. They should feel the compassion in us, saying that this person is genuinely interested in my welfare, right? And he's telling me something which absolutely is relevant for me, which might be slightly sharp, harsh, but that's what it is. That's what sadhus are meant to do. Sadhus are meant to give message as it is. Of course, in a way that can be understood, consumed by the other person, but not hiding or not, like sometimes we are very worried. Oh, like, in our Bhakti Shastri class, we were discussing. Prabhu, if we tell the truth, then maybe they will not come from tomorrow. We are very worried about this, that people will run away. We should understand, if somebody has to run away, he or she will run away. If somebody is sincere, he or she will remain. Prabhupada says, no, if somebody wants to be cheated, they will get cheated. If somebody wants the genuine truth, they will stick to it. So we don't have to worry. We should understand, we are not so powerful that we can push somebody away from bhakti, right? If you think that we are so powerful, then that's also ignorance, because we're just tiny instruments, right? But it's always good to give the message. See, if somebody is reading Bhagavad Gita, first chapter itself is so heavy, right? Prabhupada talks about women and women's position and all that. Now, obviously, but when we are preaching, we are not so direct. We will never talk about all these things because we are worried that somebody will just run away. But Krishna is saying, no, it's the order of the verses in Bhagavad Gita. It's the way purports have been written. So we follow as it is. We don't have to go and try and hide these things, or find a different way of presenting, or find a different order of presenting verses. Not required. Krishna is there in their heart. Krishna is there in our heart. Krishna will take care. Right? We have to just sincerely make the effort. Anyway, so Krishna and Supreme Personality of Godhead are identical. Therefore, Lord Krishna is referred to as Bhagavan. Bhagavan is ultimate in absolute truth. Now, absolute truth technically means from whom everything has come. That is what absolute truth means. Okay, absolute truth is realized in three phases: Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. For those who don't know, Brahman is the light or energy that is coming from the body of the Lord. Paramatma is the localized aspect of the Lord who is sitting in our heart, in every living entity. He even enters every atom. And Bhagavan is the Supreme Lord Himself, Krishna. Okay, and there is this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam which is talking about the same thing. These three aspects can be understood with the example of a sun. So basically, the Brahman effulgence is compared to the sunshine, the Paramatma is compared to the sun surface, and the uh, Bhagavan is compared to the sun planet itself, right? And each of these are three levels of understanding. So somebody who understands Brahman is called a Gnani, Paramatma is a Dhyana Yogi, and Bhagavan is a Bhakta Yogi. Bhakta. So Bhaktas have realized Bhagavan feature, they are the topmost transcendentalists. Even though all of the students are engaged in the study of the same subject matter, but it's like mathematics, standard 1, standard 2, standard 3. So obviously standard 3 mathematics person is better than standard 2 and standard 1. Okay. I'm skipping some of these because Okay, so one who studies the sunshine preliminary student, one who understands the sun surface is further and advanced, one who can enter into the sun planet is the highest. Ordinary students are satisfied by simple understanding of sunshine. So Brahman who want Brahman realization are ordinary students. They like its universal pervasiveness and the glowing effulgence. They can be compared to those who only realize Brahman feature. Student who has advanced still further can know the sun disk is compared to the Paramatma feature. Student enter into the heart of the sun planet is compared to one who can realize the personal features of the Lord. They are the bhaktas, so the bhaktas are the topmost transcendentalists. Uh, Sanskrit word Bhagavan. So we should know this verse for those who are interested. Aishwaryasya samagrasya viryasya yashashasriyaha gnana vairagyayoshchaiva shannam bhagavatingana. From Padma Purana, I think. Parashar Muni, father of Vyasadeva, he gave this. So one who possesses riches, strength, fame, beauty, knowledge, renunciation, everything is full at the same time. Everything in full and at the same time, simultaneously. He is called Bhagavan. So Prabhupada is saying there might be very many persons who are very rich, very beautiful, very famous, very learned, very detached, but no one can claim all of everything entirely. Only Krishna can claim this because he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No living entity, including Brahma, Shiva, and Narayana, can possess opulences as fully as Krishna. This we'll understand subsequently because there are 64 qualities. There are 4 qualities in Krishna which are not present in Narayana also. Therefore, it is concluded in Brahma Samhita by Lord Brahma that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No one is equal to or above him. He is the primeval Lord. Primeval means from a long time, like ancient time. He is there from ancient time. Or Bhagavan known as Govinda, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha, Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. There are many personalities possessing the qualities of Bhagavan, but Krishna is the supreme. Like for example, Brahma is also called Ishvara, Shiva is also called Ishvara, but Krishna is Parama Ishvara, Ishvara Parama. He is the supreme person, his body is eternal, full of bliss and knowledge. Satchid Ananda Vigraha. So we are also part of this Satchid Ananda Vigraha. We are separated parts of Krishna. So we also have this eternity. Sat is eternity, Chit is knowledge, and Ananda is bliss or happiness. And he is the cause of all causes. It is very important. We'll understand subsequently in Bhagavad Gita that we think that we are the cause of our actions, but we are not the cause. We are just one of the causes. And the cause of all causes, the final cause is Krishna. Without his sanction, nothing will happen. In the Bhagavatam also there is a list of many incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but Krishna is described as the original Personality of Godhead from whom many incarnations expand. Ete chamsa kalapumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Hridayanti Yuge Yuge. All the list of incarnations of Godhead submitted here with are either. So here Amsha means expansion, plenary expansion. Kala means expansion of expansion. So it's also called part of plenary expansion. Amsha and Kala. These are two types of Vishnu Tattva. This is called Vishnu Tattva expansions. Amsha and Kala. Of course, Amsha can also be Vibhinna Amsha, which is Jivas, living entities like us. So starting from Brahma down to the ant, everybody is a Jiva. Then they're called Vibhinna Amsha. And then the Vishnu Tattvas are those who are who have the same potency as Krishna in different what uh, features they demonstrate depends on the Leela, on what they're why they are taking the incarnation. Therefore, Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, the source of both the Super Soul and the personal Brahman. In the presence of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Arjuna's lamentation for his kinsmen is certainly unbecoming, and therefore Krishna expressed his concern. Kuta, where from? He's saying, I am here with you. Now, where did this, suddenly where did this creep up from? Of course, Krishna is asking this because that came from Krishna only. So, in rhetorically, he's asking, where is it coming from? It's coming from me only. Um, Such impurities were never expected from a person belonging to the civilized class of men called Aryans. The word Aryan is applicable to persons who know the value of life and have a civilization based on spiritual realizations. Persons who are led by the material conception of life. So, this is a very important phrase for the rest of Bhagavad Gita. Material conception of life means that we are stuck on the bodily platform and things related to the body. Material happiness, material things, possessions, relations, etc., etc. That's material conception of life. They do not know that the aim of life is realization of the absolute truth. Who are engrossed materially, they don't know what is the goal of life. The goal of life is to realize absolute truth, Vishnu or Bhagavan, and they are captivated by the external features of the material world. Oh, this world is so beautiful. Let me go to this city, that town. Let me travel here, there. Beautiful technology, so much of knowledge, just captivated. The external energy is actually meant to captivate us because it's illusory energy. It's supposed to put us in illusion. And if we succumb to that, that means that Maya is doing her job. Illusory energy is doing her job. She is captivating us. If we are in Krishna Bhakti or on the path of Krishna Bhakti, we should not get attracted to this because we know that this is the Lord's creation. That's how he wants it. He wants people who are not intelligent to get attracted by these external features. If we are chanting Hare Krishna and we are getting attracted by these external features, that means that we are in come out of this. Therefore, they do not know what liberation is. Persons who have no knowledge of liberation from material bondage are called non-Aryans. Although Arjuna was a Kshatriya, he was deviating from his prescribed duties. Okay, we'll talk about this later. This act of cowardice is described as befitting the non-Aryan. Such deviation from duty does not help progress in spiritual life, nor does it give one the opportunity to become famous in this world. Lord Krishna did not approve of the so-called compassion. So Krishna will not approve of our so-called compassion that we show to others on the material platform if there is no underlying um, understanding or conception of spirit, right? And this whole aspect about duty and deviation of duty, etc., that we'll also discuss briefly in second chapter and then in third and fifth chapters. Okay, so I'll stop there. If anybody has any questions, thoughts, comments, I rushed through this because a lot of it is straightforward, but a few devotees who are maybe new. So if anybody has any questions, you can kindly ask. Otherwise, you can read the purport once more. If you have any questions, you can put it on the WhatsApp group as well.
Hare Krishna, bro.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, for reading Bhagavad Gita,
Mm.
is it required we should take bath before touching the Bhagavad Gita? Because for chanting, how I do is immediately first thing I brush my teeth and sit for chanting.
Mm-hmm.
Then by the time I finish my chanting right in single sitting, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like reading something. But if I divert myself to, there will be other works before taking bath,
Mm-hmm.
some cleaning the house, this and that. Then my mind will, I'm not able to focus much on reading in the during daytime. So
Okay.
is it okay if I immediately after finishing my chanting, can I sit for reading Bhagavad Gita
Yeah, you can.
without
You can
taking bath?
anyway. So gradually, your goal should be to start your day first with bath and then rest. But anyway, that's okay. For now, you can do this. That should be the direction. First thing, once we get up, we don't have to like clear our stomach. That can happen later. But taking bath is first thing that has to
Yes,
happen.
bro.
So you can work towards it. But right now, it's okay. It doesn't. It's okay. Like, as long as you have not kept your Bhagavad
Okay.
Gita in the puja room, etc., it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Gaurav Prabhu, you had anything to say?
No, no problem. One line was there which you mentioned. Even after chanting and following devotional
Mm,
service, at times, if you are still attracted to material
mm.
concepts, how do we? So, is it that we'll have to strengthen our devotional service
Yeah.
more because we will time and again keep getting attracted?
No. So there are two things here. Let me clarify here. If we are intermittently getting attracted towards material things, that's okay. That is vasana. That's from our previous life, our conditioning, etc. And that will go as long as we don't fuel it. We should not be actively pursuing something materially. That is not at all acceptable, right? If you are serious on the path of bhakti. But if, for example, right, like once in a month you just feel like buying some clothes. Yeah, it's not required, but if you do that once in a month, it's okay. It's not like a major issue, but it's not required, right? It still means that you are attracted materially. So then, see, one thing as devotees, we have to recognize these things which are not acceptable, and then we should make conscious effort, pray to Krishna to help us get out of these anarthas. These are anarthas. See, we should understand. Then one might ask, what are anarthas? What are anything which is not helping us progress in Krishna consciousness is anartha. All that have to be given up eventually, right? But we are not going to force ourselves to do some artificial renunciation, because it's not going to work. So we will do it gradually, but we should be conscious that I don't need this. I'm just getting pulled, sucked into this, and pray to Krishna for strength. At some point of time, we'll discuss this. There is this Chaitanya Shikshamrita, where all the different asuras who came, in Krishna's Bhauma Leela are discussed, and what they represent in terms of our anarthas. We'll discuss it sometime. The whole point is that there are a lot of things for which we have to put effort, and there are a lot of things which with some effort but a lot of mercy it will just go. But we should know that we want to get rid of it. If we don't have that desire, Krishna will not do anything, right? Because it all depends on our desires. So we should become strict, but we should be conscious, and slowly gradually keep reducing it. Now, one thing Bhagavatam says, Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayajitaha Janeti Ashu Vairagyam Danam Chayada Hitukam. So Vairagya has to come in. If we are not seeing Vairagya materially, then that means that we are doing something wrong in the process. We are not following it strictly. Because if we are doing bhakti, as Srila Prabhupada has given us, we should be seeing Vairagya in our life. Now, if Vairagya is increasing gradually, step by step, that is fine. That is what is required. We are not expecting slam dunk, right? Like at one shot, everything going away. That's not going to happen, right? As long as we are seeing gradual reduction in our material desires, we are making progress. If we are not seeing gradual reduction, if it is stagnant or increasing, then either we are doing something wrong or we are doing aparadha. One of them should be Vaishnava aparadha, Seva aparadha.
Yes, Prabhu. Okay.
Okay.
One question, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
While honoring prasadam, definitely I cannot read Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam.
Absolutely.
But can I read my notes of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam?
No.
No?
No. While honoring prasadam, first thing is we should understand that itself is Krishna's mercy. You can't do two services at the same time. Honoring prasadam is a seva. Right? That is why we say honoring prasadam. We don't say eating
But
prasadam.
it takes 20 minutes, right? That's why I want
Very
to.
good. Very good. You can completely absorb yourself in the mercy of Krishna. Think about his Leela. Think about how merciful he is. As much as possible. See, our consciousness should be in Krishna. When prasadam and is one of the most powerful, angas of our practice. So don't see, because by doing that, it is as good as like you are hearing a class and you are chanting. Is that good? It's non-different. Sadham is non-different from Krishna, so it has to be given Ekeha Kuru Nandana, one pointed attention. So what I generally try to do is I try to create an environment for my complete absorption in Prasadam, if possible. I will hear, right? And the idea of hearing is to just kind of not to get distracted, or I will not hear something which requires a lot of thinking and all that. I just hear like a kirtan, or maybe a narration of some pastime. The whole idea is to absorb myself deeper into the prasadam, right? And not to distract me from the prasadam. That should be the goal. I'm not doing it perfectly, but that should be the goal.
Okay, so hearing is allowed,
Like I
but
said, brain should not be engaged
that should not
to
work.
should not be drawing away from prasadam. If something is going to help you to bring you further deeper into honoring prasadam, then it's fine. It's actually very powerful, Prabhu. We should see, this is the beauty about Krishna consciousness. No activity in Krishna consciousness is a waste of time. Every activity takes us closer to Krishna. It just depends on our consciousness. Like previously, when I never used to have so much time, I used to think, if suppose I have to clean vessels in the kitchen, or sometimes I have to boil milk or something, I used to think it's a waste of time. No, but it's not, because it's Krishna's house. Everything that we are doing is in Krishna's service, and everything will bring us closer to Krishna. Consciousness only matters, not what activity we are doing. And in every activity, we should have the same absorption, not just that reading only we have such absorption, something else we don't have, not like that.
Thank you.
Okay, somebody dropped off. I don't know. Getting late. Anybody has any questions? Otherwise, we can.
Prabhu, one small doubt. While preparing prasadam, or while preparing prasadam, should we wear only dhoti?
No, nothing like that.
And
Like I said,
offering prasadam.
consciousness is important. Externalities are important, but I'm saying at the stage where we are, I don't think we should focus so much on externalities. Let's focus on the consciousness. Externalities should come. Like I said, like in that previous question about bathing, etc. It's important, but it's not the number one priority. Right. So let's do consistently what we are doing, and slowly and steadily come to higher standards.
Okay.
Okay. That's it for today. Okay. Thank you very much. Anybody else on chat? Okay. Thanks for everybody. Okay. Right. So Krishna willing meet on. Oh, why Ananda is not there in Paramatma aspect? Okay. Anuprabhu has a question. Ananda is there, but it's like, the amount of Ananda is less. Like Brahmananda is there, but Brahmananda, even in Brahman realization, there is Ananda. But that Ananda is like a drop of, ocean. Like material, the material happiness is like a drop. Brahmananda is like maybe 10 drops. But Ananda in Bhagavan is like countless drops. Like that, right? Like it's insignificant. This is discussed in detail. Where?
Absolute truth.
Absolutely. No, but
And even I don't know if this is correct, but Paramatma.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, you muted yourself.
Sorry, no, I was just telling. I don't know if this is correct, but Dhruv Maharaj meditated and saw the Paramatma picture. Then it disappeared, right? And so he couldn't feel the complete bliss, and he had to again realize Supreme Lord again. Is that right?
No. So that is just that. I mean, at that point of time, he achieved perfection of his dhyana, and so the Lord appeared in front of him. That has that you cannot in this. But generally, it is said that the Brahmananda is like very really insignificant happiness. Paramatma, there is happiness, but not, because even in Paramatma realization, the 400 forms, the Lord, etc. There is happiness, but it is nothing compared to actually directly experiencing Krishna, right? Uh, yeah, actually, Krishna, there is descriptions. Anyway, we'll do this later. We will get distracted with. Not distracted but attracted, but anyway, it's not the subject of the discussion. I mean, Krishna's form, it is said that we cannot uh, we cannot we cannot even begin to imagine what it is, right? We have to experience. So While all the description in the Shastra is just to make us understand that it is his form is so inconceivable that it cannot be, we cannot imagine, or we cannot even get a glimpse of that. We cannot experience, get, like a, what do I say, like, we have to experience it, like, really, right? Till then we cannot completely appreciate what it is like. So, and that person and what we experience in Krishna and what we experience in Paramatma realization are like, first of all, we understand Paramatma realization, we will not get the four rasas that are there in Krishna, which itself is the big difference for us between Gaulaka and Vaikuntha, right? We are looking at Aishwarya Bhav, we are looking at Madhurya Bhav, right? Like Madhurya is like, I mean, unimaginably sweeter, right, compared to Aishwarya. So, and that cannot be experienced in Paramatma realization. So it's really insignificant, right? Madhurya is something, is a different world altogether. Anyway, these are very high topics. I don't want devotees to get distracted. But we'll come to that slowly and steadily. Let's first finish Bhagavad Gita, then we'll go on to higher topics. Okay, so we'll conclude here. One more chat. Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Samveta Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai Shri. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all for joining and being patient.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Pranam.
Hare Krishna. 50 minutes, everybody is patiently hearing. Hare
Krishna Prabhu.
Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Okay.